One of the major themes of Stockton, of its legs themes, is global awareness. One of the ways in which you do that is to invite individuals of different cultures, like the Tibetan Buddhist monks that came here, to demonstrate to not just our students, faculty, and staff, but the entire community, different practices that they're known for, and that sometimes are quite alien to us until we actually become part of it.
I'm the advisor of the Buddhist Club. Usually I give some events and ideas and plans. Having a mandala event at Stockton is a good way to contribute to the local community and embrace the staff and faculty and students at in the same place. Learning the diversity of a culture is one of the goals of the Stockton University. And I think the Buddhist Club is contributing for that.
Not many people here on campus, unfortunately, knows that a Buddhist club actually exists here. It still shocks many people to this day. During my second semester here, I officially became a part of the executive board and decided to, get involved, do different events to, spread what Buddhism is about throughout the school. The fact that we were able to bring the Tibetan monks here to Stockton was a wonderful opportunity.
So yeah, the e-board and I helped get the event going. Our professor, JB, was really instrumental, as well as Pat Donahue. And Stockton was a great help. They gave us the space, they gave us everything that we needed. It's cool to see how cohesive everything is and everyone works together, and when you want to get something done and you have people that share a vision and you see it come to fruition, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, mandala itself in Sanskrit means the circle. It's just like the round circle. But in religious meaning that's the world of Buddha, the one Buddha. So each Buddha has one Buddha field, and the Buddha field where everybody feel happy and to have the best circumstance to get enlightened. And so this time the medicine Buddha is especially for the healing for the body and mind.
The monks had studied many years just trying to create the sand art. They go through years of schooling, learning what it means, why is it important to them, how it could also affect us. Because the sand mandala is a sacred artwork, and it has many blessings and everything. It symbolizes impermanence, beauty, wisdom, compassion, and also purity.
I just love the fact that they were here. I know with the whole sand mandala thing, the whole purpose of that is to give you a representation of what it is to live. And basically, you have to be able to create your own moments and then be able to move on from them. So you can create something beautiful, a masterpiece, something that you think will last forever, but then you're the person that reminds yourself that it doesn't, so you're the one that erases it. And that kind of gives you a sense of completion when you're the one that does it. So that's what I love about it. It's not something that they're going to hang on a wall and keep there forever, because life doesn't last forever. Every moment is precious.
Oh, I loved being there. I really loved when they play the instruments. The vibrations it gives off, you just feel it. It's very relaxing. I love the whole experience. After all, even creating the mandala, it shows how much patience, devotion they put into that, to have such a wonderful piece come out of that.
To watch them put, whether it's 2 grains down or fill a whole section with the grains of sand, it is inconceivable. And I had a hard time grasping that when they're done, they actually just sweep it up. To do all that work, I would preserve that. I worked hard for that. And they find that is how the purpose of it is, to do all that work, to concentrate, and then just to release it. Actually had one of my girlfriends come with me too, who doesn't even go to school here. And we did a couple activities here, and it was really interesting. And it was really great, the fact that Stockton has these types of things, because then we started looking into other events that are going on here.
So yeah, I had the pleasure of working with the monks from Tibet that came. They're really humble and kind, and we had the pleasure of doing different activities with them. We took them to a horse farm, and they got to pray for the horses. There was a few that were dying. So they like went around them and they chanted, and it was just really awesome. And the horses seemed to really like it too. They did a dance for us. They had like a few different sacred dances that they do, and they had costumes, like they dressed up as a dragon and a yak. It was really neat.
I went to the tea ceremony with the monks, and basically it was a little overview of what the tea meant to them, how it's important, and how they acquire it. They really appreciate everything, and tea comes from earth. It's something they grow. And like I said, with the temperature as well, it keeps them warm. It's also something that they drink on a regular basis. They even have their own like teacups for each person.
Their sweet tea was knock your socks off sweet. And then they also had another one that they utilized to actually increase their heat because of the area, the climate being so cold. It was a salt and butter base. That was, we all had maybe half a cup or so. That was so hard to swallow. But I was insistent on finishing my tea because it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But it was just so heavy, sweet, creamy, and literally within less than a minute of drinking it, you could feel your insides actually heat up. It was really unique experience.
We didn't have a room for the Tibetan cooking class here, so we actually asked the Unitarian Church. So we used the space. But still, the many students and then faculty came to learn how to make the Tibetan dumpling and Tibetan noodle soup. And at the end of the event, they found that there was some left dough, and they started to throw each other. So, and then everybody was like laughing each other, and then I think that was also the very fun event.
I wasn't sure whether to kind of like leave them alone or to, talk to them, because I didn't want them to feel like they were being bombarded with attention. I know that they like their privacy just like anyone else. But we were walking and I was intersecting them, and I just asked them, I saw pulled out my phone, I was like, hey, you guys want to do a selfie? And we took a selfie, and it was, it was pretty cool. I didn't think what surprised me the most is how young they look. Sometimes you don't realize that they're people, because in a way, the whole monk idea is kind of like foreign to us.
It's good to learn about different cultures, and sometimes we just don't grasp their ideas from reading from a textbook or reading articles. Sometimes you just have to dive into the experience and see them, learn about them, physically meeting them, and then that way you could be more drawn or appreciate certain things from them.
I think it was just such an experience that it changed different aspects that I view life differently. I look and live in the present now. I think it's a really great experience to try different things, because if I never would have, my perspective on life would be the same doldrum that it always has been. And I have a different perspective now. I look at things differently. I interact with people differently. And I also try to inspire them to have a different perspective on life.
The fact that it was able to be brought to Stockton, a lot of people are very happy about it, and definitely brought different diversities, cultures, and heritage together.
So the sand mandala represents the impermanence of life. So you make all of this creation, and it's so painstaking and detailed, just like life. And then at the very end, they blow it all away, and they usually put the sand in a lake as a blessing, but we were able to buy little vials, and we gave out the sand to people that came as like a prayer they can take with them.
I was so happy to see all the people, and especially there are those people from the local community and some of the students who lost their parents. They came in and then they got the rest of some sand from the sand mandala. That made me really happy. And even after the event, I saved the bottles of the sand to share with the students who just lost the mother and who lost her dog. So I think that in that sense, the event was really successful in many ways.
I think what you saw with this group that we brought to the institution, that the club brought, and they deserve a tremendous amount of credit for this, was a group that actually transformed that atrium folks from all walks of life came, and it was an incredibly moving week, and certainly the closing ceremony was beyond anyone's expectation.